Steady up a bit out. Steady up a bit out. Huh? Hurdles. Your own hurdles, yeah.
I'm Fergal O'Brien. I'm a racehorse trainer at Ravenswell Farm in Whittington, just outside Cheltenham. Personally, Cheltenham Racecourse is my favourite racecourse. Just love going there. I love the buzz, you know, because we're so close. I've lived in Gloucestershire for most of my life. I've been over here since I was 16. I started at Naunton at Nigel Twist and Davis when I was 20. When I was at Nigel's, the festival probably, you know, it was slightly more pressure because there was a lot more expected of us there. We probably haven't got to those sort of heights yet, although we've had a couple of placed horses there. And just Cheltenham, to have a winner at Cheltenham, any of the meetings is just brilliant for us. The opportunity arose to sort of start training. I was training a few hundred chasers and pointers, and it was going well for us and one thing and another. So yeah, Carl Llewellyn sort of came back to Nigel's, and the dynamics at Naunton changed a little bit. So just wasn't happening for me anymore. And you know, it's a very tough job when you're a assistant or a head lad or whatever I was at the time. So it was time to move on, and I was very lucky that Chris Coley, who's still my business partner now and sort of been a father figure to me. You know, he said, if you find the right place and opportunity, you know, I'll help you get going. When we first came here in 2018 to have a look round, Alan Coley, Paddy, my partner Sally, we brought 4 horses over and we rode up this field. We rode up a couple of places, but we rode up this field, and there's a gap in there, there's a gateway just down there, and all 4 of them said this is the place to put the gallops. But an average day starts at about 5:30 when I get to the yard. I do the riding outboard, speak to Kevin, Dave, 2 head lads who have already fed by then. Try to have a wander around the yard once I've done the riding outboard, just to say good morning to as many of them as I can and see that they're all okay. I come up to the office then and we sort of work out the work list, or if it's a Monday, it's a schooling list or whatever we do. There's been lots of highlights, yeah. I mean, you know, lots of highlights, lots of lowlights. I suppose the highlights really have been, you know, we had a treble at the October Cheltenham meeting last year. You know, just couldn't come at a better time. We just literally moved yards, and you know, it just came at a great time. It sort of gave us all a boost. You know, our first 2 runners out of Ravenswell Farm, which had been solely trained here, you know, they both won. So get all the ones that are going to Cheltenham to the front. Thank you. It's an Andrews bone surface, and it's a half a mile long, so it's 4 furlongs, 800 metres, and it rises 185 feet from right down the bottom. We're never having to go too fast. The hill does all the work for us, really. It's a good surface, it's a good incline, it's got a little break in the middle where it sort of levels out. It gives them a little bit of a breather so it doesn't really get right to the bottom of them. And then there's a good climb the last sort of furlong and a half, so you want them to come off that gallop thinking, God, that was no different than any of us. It's no different if you go and have a really good gym session compared to if you have a really bad gym session. You want to come away from the gym thinking, you know, that felt really good, because you don't want to go back and do it again. It's the same for these horses that are training every day. You want them to come off the end of the gallop feeling the best that they can feel. Earlier on in the year, you know, up to September, October time, they'll be coming up here 3 times, but these are all pretty fit. You happy with them, Laura? Yeah. So nice, just a nice piece, stay together. Who are you with?
Liam, I don't know what
yeah.
Yeah, I'll come up there, thank you.
Just stay together, okay? Yeah. Nice gaps and stay together. It's a great facility, and you'll see when we go back in, we've got an all-weather schooling strip. We normally school on Mondays and Thursdays, that's when Paddy's in. And then we also got a 3 furlong flat round gallop as well.
Liam, you got a radio?
It's got to be a place where horses, once they've done their work, that they can actually have, you know, any athlete will tell you the same. They'll tell you their downtime is as important as their training time. And it's the same for horses, you know. Does anyone know who Paddy's with?
I'm with Paddy. Yeah.
There we go, Timmerman. That's okay. We've got 4 very good jockeys riding for us. You know, Paddy, Connor, Liam and Max Kendricks. Those boys have got great feedback, and that all stems from Paddy, you know. Like I said once, I wouldn't mind going on holiday with Lindsay and the kids, but I certainly wouldn't want to go with Paddy. We drive each other mad. We've got a great relationship, you know. We're very close. In the way that, you know, we can vent our frustration at each other. So if I feel he's done something wrong or he feels I've done something wrong, there's no tiptoeing around, or he's never worried about upsetting me and I'm never worried, because it's all done everything is said to try and go forward, you know. he's still very driven. You know, anyone who saw the fall that he had at Southall yesterday and yowed them, and you know, I was fully expecting. I actually texted him just to see if he was okay, because I tried to ring Molly, who was there, to see if he was all right. And I texted him and said, look, if you don't want to ride Manala Tara, if you don't want Manala Tara to run, no problem, we'll find another race. That was never an issue. He texted me back saying 100%. I'm not sure he was, but it was you know, and that's the mark of him. You know, that is he's just and you know, if anyone saw him cross the line on Manala Tara, it meant so much to him, because it's another winner for us. He's picked himself up off the ground, and it's for Graham and Alison, who are good friends of his. What motivates us to keep going when the weather's bad and this stuff is the love of horses, the love of jump racing. It's just the love of a job that you enjoy doing every morning. You know, it doesn't take a lot of motivation to get up and come here. You know, even some of the worst days here are still fantastic. You know, you'll always find, you know, it'll be, you know, -2 or 3 here, but you'll have an amazing sunrise, you know, or it'll be absolutely tipping with rain, but then suddenly after 2 hours of rain, the clouds will part and you'll get a bit of blue sky out in that gallop, and it's just a fantastic place to be. After Imperial Commander won the Gold Cup, I'm very lucky that I'm a teetotaler, so I can remember every hour, minute and second after that race. There's a few people who won't remember a lot of it, which is great as a teetotaler, because you can make up a little bit as well. But yeah, no, it was we were very lucky that we had a very good local pub, the Hollow Bottom, and yeah, it was amazing. You know, we had 3 winners on the day, and I suppose, you know, not almost as special was Sam. You know, Sam Twiston Davis was 10 months old when I went there, and you know, he won the Fox Hunters on Baby Run, and then Paddy won on Pigeon Island, won the Grand Annual on Pigeon Island. So, you know, just a fantastic night, day, weekend. It just went on, you know. Saying that, I did on the Saturday, I did end up going to Foss Lass. Really? Yeah, but we had a winner of Foss Lass, so it was great. But no, I just remember the parade. We took the 3 horses down to the Hollow Bottom, and all the TV cameras that were there, and it was just a great buzz. I remember my kids were very young, and I still got a lovely picture at home with Daisy with the Gold Cup, and Fern with a very sulky face, so because she was quite shy at the time. So you know, I just have great memories of all that, of that time. You know, it was just a fantastic time. At the end of the day, I suppose it is another race meeting. You have to try and enjoy it. We've been there. You know, Colin's sister was 4th in the stairs for us, and we've been competitive. You know, Coolanley was 5th in the boys' race, so we've had runners who have been competitive, and it gives you a great buzz to see one still travelling at the top of the hill, and you're just hoping. We just need to get one travelling back up the hill now, so fingers crossed. No, my advice to a younger trainer would be, you know, if doesn't matter who you are, where you've come from. You know, myself and my partner Sally are both proof that if you work hard. I always feel that I've been very lucky. I always say people I've been very lucky, but someone once told me that the harder you work, the luckier you'll get. And I think that's the thing. I think the key thing is for me is that we've always worked hard, and Sally's the same. And if you work hard, then you will get the breaks. You know, things will happen for you. And it's easy to work hard when things are going well. It's, you know, you got to work hard when things aren't going well, and when you feel like you're trying to push water up a hill. And you just got to keep working hard, and that's what it comes down to, really.
Lest you're in any doubt that it is extremely difficult to win races here at the Cheltenham Festival, there are several smaller trainers who are hoping and praying here that they might just get that tiny little crumb of the Cheltenham pie.
They're coming towards the home turn. Barney Dwan has gone on, pursued by Jury Duty.
Think of presenting Percy and how well he was travelling coming down the hill that robbed us of Barney Dwan's, because if ever a horse deserves a festival winner, you know, I think it was Barney Dwan.
Look to the left, presenting Percy. Davy Russell producing him from the rear of the field. And he's won the Pertemps final.
I think our other horse that was second, Cap Soleil, was second because Paddy gave her a very good ride, and we were never going to get anywhere near Lorena.
Here comes Imperial Alcazar now, delivered by Paddy Brennan on the outside.
I think our best chance of the festival this year would be Imperial Alcazar. You know, if you just look at the betting, I think he's second or third favourite for the Pertemps.
Ridden here, Imperial Alcazar comes through to win the Pertemps qualifier.
He's always been a lovely horse, it's always been very good to do. Ran very well in his bumpers. We won first time out for the Daintree. He was second at Cheltenham at the December meeting.
Redford Road is a neck in front of Imperial Alcazar on the stand side.
He's just a lovely, big, strong horse. I think, you know, he's got a lovely running style. I think Cheltenham will really suit him.
Skelton and Protectorate all out from Imperial Alcazar, goes to the judge.
He wouldn't want an extreme of heavy, and he wouldn't want he wouldn't want good to firm. But
Young Buck travelling strongly on the outside of Beat the Bullet, but Alaphilippe is moving off in pursuit.
Alaphilippe's been a revelation for us, really. You know, he's been so straightforward. He won very well at Haydock the other day, but he's been phenomenal. He won his bump around Foss last. He's had 5 runs and 4 wins in a second.
Alaphilippe comes to jump the 12th and final flight. He's got an 8-length advantage, maybe a shade more.
He's just gone from strength to strength. He's been like any of those good horses. He never really shows you a whole lot at home. He only does the bare minimum. And that's what's so lovely about him. You know, he's just so straightforward. He definitely deserves to be in the Alba Part, and hopefully he'll run a good race. This is Dolcita, who ran for us the other day at Warwick. Travelled very, very well at Warwick. Lovely, big, strong type mare. Travels very well, works extremely well. We've been delighted with her, yes. I think not having spectators there definitely will. I think it'll play its part. There'll be horses that won't boil over because that atmosphere won't be there. And then I'm sure, again, I always go back, you know, they are racehorses, but I see them as athletes. And I see them as no different than a rugby player or a footballer. And I'm sure there's plenty of rugby players and footballers that feed off a crowd, who, you know, watching the Six Nations, who probably, you know, when there's empty stands, they're just not, you know, they're getting to 98%, but there's another 2% in there. And I'm sure there's horses that will be, you know, will sort of see that Cheltenham Hill but won't hear that roar. World Cup would be phenomenal, yeah. And hopefully those, you know, we've got everything here. We've got the facilities. We just hopefully can get the ammunition, get the horse, exactly.
Get up to £40 money back as a bonus if your first racing bet loses. Unibet, you're on.